Welcome to the second episode of Bake Off with Miss Rosenthal and Mrs. Shmuel.
Hi everyone! Okay, so we thought today we would try and do something for Shavuot. However, because last time we did cookies that were delicious, we thought this time we could do something that wasn't dessert. So we've gone, sticking with the Shavuot theme of cheese, we're going with a cheesy pizza.
On the next slide, you'll see, in a second, you'll see all the ingredients that you need. We've prepared them just like last time. So pause the screen, get all of your bits ready, and then press play. Okay, now you need to make sure that your oven is preheated to 200 degrees so that it's ready for your pizza to go in.
And one final prep before we get started is just get maybe a baking tray ready. You can have like a pizza baking tray, like a round one, or if not, you can just use parchment paper or tin foil, anything you've got ready so that it's all prepared. And we're gonna get going.
Okay, the next thing you need to do is you need to get your flour and put it into a big mixing bowl. If, like me, you've already put it into a big mixing bowl, you could just keep it in here and add the other ingredients to it. Make sure you've sieved your flour when you've set it aside. And then also make sure you're adding your baking powder and your salt, and mix it all together until it's all combined.
So next up, I just want to say that we've chosen a recipe that involves no yeast. So there is no yeast part to this. So next up, we go straight into the wet ingredients. So we've got water and we've got oil. What you need to do is take the water and the oil and combine them together. Miss Rosenthal, take our water, our oil, combine them together so you mix them up. Once they're mixed, as well as water and oil can mix, think about that in your science.
Very well.
Not very well at all. But once they are mixed together, you then slowly add that into your flour, into your dry ingredients.
I'm only adding in a bit at a time. And I'm going to keep mixing it, but I'm not going to add it all, just see how much I need.
You want it to be sticky, but you don't want it to stay too wet. There's a difference between wet and sticky. Okay, so once you've combined all of it, get your hands stuck in there, make sure they're washed, and you should get like a dough-like mixture. It should be not too sticky, not too wet. You should be able to pick it up and roll it around, but not too dry. So if you can see it too floury, add a tiny bit of water. However, if you add too much water, not a problem. All you need to do is then add in some more flour, more like a doughy mixture. So just keep kneading, get those hands in there, push down, roll it over, push down, kneading with your hands. You want a really nice pizza dough.
Okay, I've now got my mixture. It's now formed into a lovely dough. And what I'm going to do is both of us are actually going to be splitting it in half. And the reason why we're halving it is so that we can give some to our family as well. So once you've split it in half, you'll need 2 balls, basically, and still carry on kneading them in their separate balls as well, just to make sure that they're all combined together. And Mrs. Shmuel is going to be adding something to one of her balls.
So for half of my mixture, I thought I'd do something a little bit experimental and try and see if you can add some extra flavour. So Mr. Shmuel loves a bit of herbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread my dough mixture a little bit wider, and then I'm going to pour some mixed herbs into it and mix it in. So spread it a little bit. I'm going to grab my mixed herbs, and not loads. We don't want it overpowering. We're just going to sprinkle a few mixed herbs onto the dough, and then knead them into there, and let's hope that that adds a bit more extra flavour to our dough.
Now we need to make sure that our area is prepared for our dough. So what you need to do is you need to get some flour, and you need to sprinkle some flour onto your work surface. You can see I've already done it, my hand's covered, so that the mixture won't get stuck to the surface, and just make sure it's evenly covered, just so that it won't get stuck. And then what you need to do is you need to grab one of your pieces of one of your dough balls and put it onto your surface, and then you're going to use a rolling pin to roll it into roughly a circle so it looks like a pizza, and trying to make it as even as possible.
Okay, so myself and Miss Rosenthal have rolled out one of our 2 balls, and Miss Rosenthal's pizza is right there. It's slightly camouflaged into her top, but she's got a circular pizza. What she's going to show you is, if you would like to be slightly adventurous, you can create crusts on your pizza by folding the outside all the way around. So if you have a look at what Miss Rosenthal's doing now, take the edges, fold them in, and that creates a nice little crust. And if you want to be even more adventurous, you could actually sprinkle cheese around the outside, fold over, and then you've got a cheese crust pizza.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I might do that in the second one.
So am I.
Okay, now what you need to do, now you should have your 2 pizzas ready. We've got ours ready on our baking trays. Mrs. Shmuel has got in front of her some tomato sauce. Now what she has used is a mix of tomato puree and passata. I, in my mixture, only have passata because I don't have tomato puree. So you need to pour it onto your base and make sure all of the base is covered. And then you're going to sprinkle some cheese on top so it covers the cheese. You can do however much cheese you want. We personally love cheese, so I'm sure we're going to be using lots. Let's watch Mrs. Shmuel.
And a bowl of cheddar ready. Cheesy for shabby up.
We're just going to watch Mrs. Shmuel do one pizza, and she can show us what it looks like afterwards. Mmm, delicious. And a little bit of cheese, Mrs. Shmuel.
All right, you ready, guys? Ooh, professionally done. Okay, guys, so we have tomato base with our cheese sprinkled on top, as you can see. So it's time for toppings. Now, guys, you can be as creative as you would like. We're both doing 2 different pizzas. So for mine, my personal one, I'm going to have some tuna, some pineapple. I know, controversial, but it's delicious. And red onion on mine. That's for me. Mr. Shmuel is going to have some pepper, some mushroom, and an egg. Now, the thing is, if you want an egg with yours, cook the pizza for the first 10 minutes and then add the egg on afterwards. Otherwise, your egg ends up being burnt. That's my topic.
I'm actually making 2 the same, a little bit boring. They are going to have sweet corn, olives, and also tuna. I might actually just do one with the tuna because I don't know if my family will eat it, but we'll see. Delicious. Mrs. Shmuel and I have now put our toppings on our pizza. I don't know if Mrs. Shmuel can lift hers up because, no, I will lift mine up. You can see I've got olives, sweet corn and tuna. This is my one without my stuffed crust. I also did a pizza with stuffed crust. I'll show that to you as well.
Delicious.
Now we need to put them into the oven for, it says between 15 to 17 minutes, but also keep an eye on them because if you can see that they're cooked before that, you could take them out. It depends on the thickness of your pizza. So wait until they're golden brown before you take them out.
And guys, do not forget, add a little bit of herbs to the top, adds an extra bit of flavour. Feel free to throw on some things like chili flakes if you want a bit of spice, or just some mixed herbs. Once they've gone in the oven and they're cooking for those 15-ish minutes, what do you need to do, everyone? Tidy. Exactly, get tidying, help your parents out on this Shavuot weekend. and enjoy. We'll see you in about 15. And here is our end result. So as you can see, some delicious pizza was made with a really easy, simple recipe. We're going to give it a try. Are you ready, Ms. Rosenthal?
It's very hot.
Mmm. It's really delicious. Flavour. Mmm.
Really delicious. And I've got the stuffed crust one over here, so I'm going to eat the crust just to taste what
Oh, let's have a look.
Mmm.
Got a bit of cheese, got a bit of dough. Oh, how delish. So guys, don't forget, send us your videos, your pictures of your pizza creations. Bye.